Welcome everybody to a new episode of the Pondcast. And today is Battle at the Pond, Nidoking. This was a request done by one of our guests, Jay from the passenger seat. And so we figured, why not? My name is Draco, and joining me today is Guren.
Hello.
And Sun.
Hello.
Battle at the Pond is our series where we all choose the same Pokemon and train our Pokemon individually to the way we would normally play, and then share them at the same time so that we can offer critiques, compare notes, and even offer some ideas that normally we would not think of on our own. Nidoking is known as the Drill Pokemon. It is a poison ground type, which gives it a 2x weakness to ground, water, psychic, and ice types. It takes half damage from fighting, rock, bug, fairy, quarter damage from poison, and absolutely no damage from electricity. Its abilities are Poison Point, where an opponent has a 30% chance of being poisoned when using an attack that requires physical contact against Nidoking. Rivalry, where its attack and special attack increase by 25% if the foe is the same gender. Attack and special attack is decreased by 25% if the foe is opposite gender. And its hidden ability is Sheer Force. Moves with secondary effects are increased by 30% but lose their secondary effect. Now, the effect that they're talking about is chance to paralyze, chance to flinch. Those effects, not other effects such as fainting for death, for explosion. Its base stats are a total of 505, with hit points being at 81, attack at 102, defense at 77, special attack at 85, special defense at 75, and speed of 85. It is the evolution of Nidoran Male into Nidorino, and evolves by Moonstone. To start off, before we get into our builds, I just kind of want to get into the look of it. Have you guys actually looked at the shiny of this thing?
The shiny?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I see that. It's blue.
Yeah, but I just like the fact that it's almost close to Nidorina blue.
Yeah.
So I wonder if by getting a shiny you can throw somebody off. Not like there's a type difference on this one in this particular case, but with rivalry it might actually work to your advantage.
I think like if nobody's looking like closely enough, then they wouldn't notice the differences at least in the torso area of the Nidoking, because I think like Nidoqueen's one isn't like colored in like as full in as Nidoking one is.
Yeah.
So if they can't notice that, then I guess they're expecting a different Pokemon. Oh well.
It would be cooler if there were different typing, though. So, getting into it with our Battle at the Pond builds.
This Nidoking is actually based off of a Nidoking that I myself have been using since Generation 6, I think. Yeah, 6. So it's got a little special thing in my memories and whatnot. So basically, it's Nidoking. I went with Timid Nature. So I put all the EV points into its speed, all the EV points into its special attack, and then the rest into its HP. I went with the ability Sheer Force, and I went with the item Life Orb. And then for the moveset, this one is either or. This is going to be your stab moveset for the very first move. So it's either you go with Sludge Bomb, or you go with Earth Power. The second one is Thunderbolt. I picked Thunderbolt because it gives you the type coverage against water Pokemon, which it would be weak against. You can also damage flying types as well. Then we have Flamethrower. I threw in Flamethrower in there because I thought, okay, let's go. We can. It's another special type move. We can use it against ice types, which is also weak against. We can use it against grass types, just because. Also, if you're not running Sludge Bomb and you're running like Earth Power instead, then Flamethrower would help with grass types. And then there's also the Steel types too. Same thing. If you're not running Earth Power, then at least you have something against them. Flamethrower. And in the last move, I have Ice Beam. Why? Because I thought it would be cool to give Nidoking a bunch of different special attack moves with different properties. also because I used to love the move Tri Attack, and I thought it'd be cool for like Nidoking to kind of have like 3 elements that had to deal with that move. But yeah, so this Nidoking was just like it was made during a Gen 6 era for me, and then like I brought it into like the current like era gen, and like I've been trying to use it in PvP as much as I can. So it's stuck with me. Like I know it's not like the best at special attacking, but it does feel kind of niche and fun to play with. And with the sheer force ability, removing the secondary effects that like Draco explained earlier, it does give that boost to these moves. If you want, I think you could also replace Flamethrower with Fire Blast as well. If you want more damage, you're just sacrificing accuracy for that. But yeah, so sheer force plus that life orb, extra damage. I love it.
So yeah, that'd be one way to run in, which is pretty good. Yeah, trying to be fast and also special attack. And then for your moveset, yeah, it's pretty good coverage. So that way you don't have to really worry about missing one or the other one.
I kind of like that you've mitigated the weaker special attack stat with the life orb. So, you know, everyone's gonna probably start setting up for a physical wall, and here you are just throwing down a lot of special attacks. So it's a nice blindside, and I like it.
It was really interesting.
I bet.
Because at one point, like, this is just side note, a little bit too. When I did get into a PvP match during Gen 6 time with one of my friends, I ended up outspeeding his Noivern. I don't know how it happened. I'm just going to assume that maybe he did not have like a great nature on its speed or something, or didn't have enough IVs or something. But I outsped his Noivern, which was really weird.
You gotta have a 6 IV Norver, otherwise it's not gonna outspeed something like Nidoking.
I just thought it was really funny. I was like, because the look on his
had it
face,
at a stronger attack though.
Yeah, probably. He probably had it like modest or something, because it was just so funny. Like his face, like I was looking at him, and he's like, "It outsped my Noivern," and I'm like, you know, I'm just as shocked as you, man. But goodbye with the ice beam.
Oh yeah, Ice Beam one shot it. So
yeah. Oh my god, that was hilarious.
yeah. Okay, so the way how I have my setup, right? The item I have holding is Life Orb, and then the ability is Poison Point. And then for the moveset, I have is Ice Beam to coverage for like Flying type, Grass type, and other types speak to it. And then Sludge Bomb, which is real good. So it'll be good against like Fairy type, like other types that reach it. And then I have Earth Power. That way I can like counter against Steel, Electric, or Dirt reach it. And then for my last one, it's Protect. So that's just in case if they had a priority move, or like a move that could hit like both for a double. So, and then that way I can protect Nidoking if I need to. And then for the nature, it's Modest, it's Max, EV is Special Attack, and Max Speed. So that way I can be fast and also hit really hard too.
Okay, so so you literally took like kind of a pretty much opposite approach then. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I see both of you guys were thinking to take advantage of that weaker special attack and leaning into people's forethoughts of going straight physical. So I definitely see that. And the Protect is nice because you could always throw that out first turn, especially when you know you're going up against something that's going to have advantage on you. You can at least throw that Protect up and make them take a shot at you without losing a turn on your other Pokemon. They'll be targeting that guy.
Like also if they have priority moves. So
I like it. And the Poison Point's a nice touch, especially if you're going to be dealing with some physical attackers. Now they run the risk of you poisoning them. Well, for me, I went with the ability Sheer Force, and I gave it the Assault Vest because I decided I'm leaning into that high 102 attack stat. For me, I just couldn't ignore it. The difference between the physical attack and the special attack was just too great, in my opinion. So I leaned into that. So I maxed out its attack stat and speed stat and made it a Jolly Nature because I wanted to make sure that it would actually that he'd actually be able to hit first, especially when it caps off his speed around 150. which makes him pretty quick at that point with that huge speed investment. And then I gave it Poison Jab for stab with that nice 80 power, Rock Slide for the ability to hit 2 targets at once if I'm playing in competitive, Beat Up for coverage against psychic types, because let's face it, most likely someone's going to throw a psychic type at me at Nidoking, and Beat Up is just a nice back pocket attack against the psychic, plus it hits 6 times. Or up to 6 times, so it's that makes it rather nice. And to round out the build completely, Thunder Punch.
Oh.
So it would actually help cover at least against water typing, which is another big weakness that we tend to see a lot of, I think.
This is true.
I won't get the benefits of Thunder Punch, Rock Slide, or Poison Jab with sheer force. However, because those 3 do have a percent mechanic onto them, that means that they're going to be 30% higher. And then their stab for Poison Jab.
Yeah, so that extra damage plus that attack stat that it already has. Oh my god, that's good. Gosh, I think it's hard already too, like what you're saying. So it's like, oh man.
Yeah, I figured with the sheer force, I didn't really need to worry too much about boosting the attack stat by making it an adamant typing. So instead, I made it jolly to get that speed, just to try and see if I can eke out most of my opponent's Pokemon before they hit him. And since he hits like a truck, even if Nidoking does go down, there's a chance that he's at least going to put a huge dent in them and make it easier for my follow-up Pokemon to take down my opponent.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
But I mean, other than that, it's pretty good. Like I forgot the thing even learned Sucker Punch. So if you even wanted to put that in there,
Sucker Punch, yeah.
Yeah, because that's kind of like a priority move, right? So, wait.
Yes.
As long as the opponent is attacked. But beat up, I thought I was not expecting it to win beat up. Honestly, like that was tights too. Like I totally forgot about its psychic coverage too. That's why. So I'm like, yeah.
Okay, so if I'm understanding this correctly, the base power of beat up changes depending on the base attack of each Pokemon in your party. So if you've got a Nidoking and let's say Clefable. Alright, so we'll take Nidoking's, so its base attack of 102. Then it would take Clefable's base attack of 70. And the first hit for Nidoking would be 102. The second hit, if it's Clefairy, is 70, and so on down the line, depending on what each Pokemon is. And if I'm holding a King's Rock, let's just say, Beat Up has a chance of proccing every time one of those connects. That makes Beat Up disgusting.
That's actually pretty gross. But when you say that now, I'm thinking like someone accidentally puts that like King's Rock on their Pokemon that's using Beat Up, right? But they're using that Beat Up Justified strat instead, and I'm like, making their own Pokemon flinch while trying to boost up its Justified.
Well, the problem with that is that Beat Up Justify with the King's Rock, if you've tagged Sheer Force in it, you're actually going to be doing a ton of damage against your own Pokemon, especially if you're the kind of person that can see that coming, and you decide you're going to go ahead and boost up your beat up Pokemon's power by a ton or drop their target defense by a lot. They'll end up knocking out their own Pokemon trying to use the justified strategy. Because like seriously, imagine you magic powder somebody. Let's just say Arcanine, justified Arcanine strat, right? So they'll use beat up to try and get Arcanine up to that nice level. Well, if you've got a Hatterene that's moving fast enough, you can magic powder their Arcanine to make it into a psychic type. Now they're taking 6 hits off of a super effective stab.
Oh god.
Well, thanks for taking out one of your own guys.
They get hit like 4 times or something, right?
4 times in a battle, yeah. So they'll take 4 hits at super effective.
Goodbye, Arcanine.
But going back to the original point, you definitely want other Pokemon in your team with a higher than decent attack stat. And I mean, Nidoking also has a great set of other moves too. In Sword and Shield, it gets moves like Mega Horn, which is an incredible bug type move, which would also give you great coverage against psychic types, but would also help with dark types as well.
Oh, that's true. I think that's the thing that kind of bugs me though. The funny thing. Its coverage for psychic types is kind of lackluster a little bit. Like, it does have a few dark type moves, but and then like it has like what, 1 or 2 bug type moves, I think, too, right? Like with Mega Horn, and I think it learns Fury Cutter as well. But it's like, damn, is that all you get for psychic coverage? There's like whether I'm looking at like its special pool or its
Wait, so it doesn't learn like Shadow Punch or like Shadow Claws? What?
Oh, I can learn Shadow Claw right here. You can learn Shadow Claw.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't learn Shadow Claw. Well,
That's
I'm going through some of the newer moves that it's gotten since Gen 8. So like, it'll get Smart Strike, which was a new I believe Steel move. You know, it gets stuff like Brick Break, so you can set up Nidoking to be a wall breaker for barriers, light screens, and reflect. You know, just get rid of them altogether, which is nice. You could utilize things like Sand Tomb, Rock Tomb. You could make it more support than anything else, but with that kind of an attack power, I think you definitely want to take advantage of that. Defensively speaking, it isn't terrible. It's not the greatest, but it's balanced out enough that you could, in theory, bulk up its defenses and put it in there for the long haul. You know, and that 102 attack is still pretty good. You can make it a physical striker with a good defense. Or what you guys had done is, you know, make it a special attacker for someone not expecting it, and then just kind of go from there. Because it'll get a move like Scalding Sand.
Oh, I can get it too? Oh shoot, I must have missed it then.
It can learn some of the TM moves for the HM moves on BDSP. But you get moves like High Horsepower, dark moves like Throat Chop, Drill Run for stab with high crit.
Yeah.
There's quite a few. Even Dragon Pulse, because come on, that right there, you can.
Oh, I forgot I can learn Dragon Pulse.
Yeah, you can drop him in front of a dragon and just start hitting it for a good shrug of damage.
Ooh, to add on to as a side note too, Drake, like how you're talking about making it like a little bit more defensively bulky as well. If you do end up foregoing the sheer force for like Poison Point, what I did before too, was I did use the item Black Sludge on it just to give it a little bit of sustainability as well. Because I think it works for poison types, right? It's like leftovers.
Yeah, it's only for poison type. Yep.
Yeah, like that could help a little bit with the bulk too. Just a little side item. Oh, I just realized something too, because another good partner for it is another partner that can use Tailwind. Because now that I think about it, its speed is exactly the same as Duraludon. And I know the Duraludon, or one of the Duraludons that I do have, I didn't invest that much into its speed. I only invested enough points to make it, I think I made it enough points to make it faster with Tailwind against a Dragapult, just so I could outspeed it. And then I put the max special attack, and I think I put the other points into, I think, making it a little bit more defensively bulky, which I did enjoying. So,
you just gave me a terrible idea.
Oh,
Prankster Whimsicott with Tailwind on my Nidoking build that's specifically designed to go faster. If you double the speed, it's at 300. It would put Nidoking at a speed of 300 with sheer rock and sheer force.
So double the speed, right? Let's see.
That would mean it would outspeed a Regieleki.
Oh damn, that's fast.
Regieleki is 200 speed
Even
on the base, which means if someone was to come at me with a speed boosted Regieleki, they still wouldn't be able to outspeed Nidoking. And Regieleki is an electric type, which basically means Nidoking does have an advantage over it.
Yeah, just one Earthquake or one Earth Power instead.
Yeah, if I had decided to put a ground type on attack on my Nidoking, but instead I went with Rock, Dark, and Electric and Poison.
I think that Poison Gem might be enough to take it out, right? Because I think Regieleki doesn't have like the best defenses either, anyways, right?
No, like it's a glass cannon Pokemon. So it's very strong and fast, but this
So that could work too, like for doubles at least.
And with that, everybody, that has been our Battle at the Pond Nidoking. What did you guys think about our builds? Do you have a build that you wanna share with us? Let us know down below. Also, please remember, share, like, and subscribe. Let us know how we're doing. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.